Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. I like it.
I mean, that's a
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Roundtable. We are here in Oxford, Alabama. I don't think I have to introduce my guests here tonight, but I'm going to in just a moment. We're live from the Texas Roadhouse for Stop 6, the season finale of 2025 on Logan Martin Lake. There are 40 berths at stake for the 2026 championship, and progressive AOY honors are on the line. I've got three amazing guests. I bet you know these guys. I'm going to rattle them off in order. Greg Hackney. He's the only guy, he's got a chance to win AOY on 3 different circuits. Nobody has ever done that. He's a former FLW AOY, a former Bassmaster AOY. He won Stop 2 on Lake Norman. Next to him, we have Patrick Walters from Utahville, South Carolina, the only 4-time winner in NPFL history. And on the end, the man closest to the NPFL Progressive Angler of the Year trophy is Kyle Welcher out of Alabama. Former Bassmaster AOY and the defending NPFL Angler of the Year. In 11 events in his NPFL career, Kyle Welcher has 7 top 10s and has never finished worse than 18th. And guys, there's a reason we've got Kyle.
Dang.
Yeah.
18. I didn't even know that.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah, slightly.
Yeah, I mean,
That's not too bad.
Not to put any pressure on.
yeah.
The reason Kyle's closest to the trophy, gentlemen, is because Kyle is closest to the trophy. You know what I'm saying? I love Angler of the Year races. To me, that's the ultimate honor in our sport. And Kyle's a defending AOY. Kyle's got a 7-point lead over Patrick. He's got a 19-point lead over Greg. And Greg, I'm going to start with you because I got some bad news. You need him to finish 20th or worse to have a shot. And he's never been worse than 18th. Is he going to open the door for
So
you?
you know what they say, when you get to the top, there's only one place to go. It's down. No, we don't wish any bad on Kyle. And I don't feel like he'll do bad this week, honestly. I feel like we're at his home water. I know. Never say anything.
Terrifying.
Yeah, but we feel like I watched him move around in practice. You know, he's incognito. Yeah. He's got an unwrapped boat and all that. But, you know, we're trained observers, so I noticed him. And I watched how he practiced, and I'm like, ooh, he's fishing the juice. Like, he's practicing juice spots. He's not going out there randomly fishing. Like, he's running stuff that they live on.
Gotcha. So he's not
I wish I would have
looking.
seen you. Dang, I wasn't looking hard enough, I guess.
Now, what's this about incognito?
His boat's not wrapped.
Are you channeling your inner David Fritz? Because in 1993, when Fritz won the Classic on the same body of water, he went out in a 20-year-old Ranger to practice, wore a big straw hat, and was trying to get under the radar.
So actually, I'd never like to wait late in the year to take my boat wrap off. So as soon as I got home from up north, I just took it off while it was still hot because they come off a little easier. So I don't have a wrap boat right now. So there was no choice.
Yeah, so there was no reason for
There
it
was
being
no reason
unwrapped.
for it being unwrapped. No, I just don't have a wrap
That he
on any boat.
says. There's always a little reason. I mean, they don't look at you as hard when you ain't got no wrap on. That's true.
Well, Patrick, I got this for you, man, and take this for what it's worth. It's intended as a big compliment. Of all the guys who have fished in this sport for so many years, you're still a very young guy, early 30s. I think you're on a short list of the best guys who've ever played the game who's not yet won an AOY. I think of guys like Shaw Grigsby, Tommy Martin. These guys were massively accomplished, but they had been in the game for decades. I look at where you're at now. You've won 4 NPFL events, more than anybody. And you've come so close on multiple tours to winning AOY. What has prevented that? Because you're more than good enough.
The first 2 years, I didn't fish a full season. After that, I would take timing. When it's your time, it's your time, 100%. I usually do really good, and then I'll have one bad tournament, usually, every time. Whether it's the elites, whether it's NPFL, I usually get one stub toe about every time. So
I should point out, in 2023, you made a great run at AOY, and you missed a tournament. If you had just fished that tournament, and I think finished in the top 40 or so, which you invariably do, you'd have been the AOY that year.
But our man TG, Todd Goad, won that year.
Todd Goad won. Put together a massive year. Put together a massive
He did not finish out of the top 10 that year.
No, he did not, which I would have thought was impossible. But that's the kind of numbers you guys are putting together this year. You guys are putting together epic, historic years. Of the three of you, only Greg has won a tournament this year, but here's the worst finish any of you guys has turned in was 21st place. And Greg, that was also you.
Damn, Greg. What are you doing? What are you doing? The lowest. I like big peaks and valleys. You know what I mean?
That's how this year was.
That's no valley.
Too bad.
That's no valley. None of you guys has finished.
Where was that at?
That was
in
at
the last
Douglas.
One.
Really?
No, I thought I was 16th.
You were 16. No, you were 21st at Douglas, 16th at St. Lawrence.
Oh, okay. I thought it was reversed.
Which, by the way, is the second worst finish.
Man.
I lost a lot of fish.
Okay,
so lost fish have bit me all year in both tournament trails. Huh?
What'd you change? Rods?
Well, I haven't had a chance to change yet. Like, this has just been a bad year for losing fish. I win, you follow. I was reading the boat. I'm like, I would win you follow if I hadn't lost a couple big ones that you follow. I'm like, it's just been that year.
Yeah.
Flipping mats the second day at our first one at in Florida. Out of 15 bites, I catch 3.
It seems like it comes in waves.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's you, but it's not usually your equipment, I feel like, because, like, usually nothing changes.
Yeah,
it's your
like the way they're
mechanics.
biting or something.
Or their way they're biting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that the last day at Douglas, like literally, I'm lucky to have what I had that day.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got like 8 in a row. I lose like 8 in a row flipping bushes.
Yeah.
Just slacking the line when it goes in the bush.
Yeah.
Then I watch video. Canterbury just jumps from the hip. Just got him. I've got
5 pounder.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, what happened?
Sometimes I feel like it's important not to overcorrect. You know, because
after I lost there, and then I start thinking like, the next one. You know, I mean, there was a giant bush. I lose 2 good ones in the same bush. It's under the water about this deep. It's a giant buck bush, like 15 foot wide. I flip on this side, one gets it on the way down. Well, the boat doesn't move. I rig my stuff back up, flip over in another side, another one gets it.
Are you jumping on them too quick?
No, by then, because I'd lost so many, I started lean.
Oh,
bush shakers.
I'd probably crunk up and just idle through the bush.
You know, but here's the funny thing. Like,
cut it down.
Yeah.
I lose like 8 in a row and then catch the next 6.
That's how it always goes.
I'm like, I don't know.
And then you'll go a month and not lose one flipping.
Yeah. But those fish that you follow on spinnerbait, that's what's bad. But I think the deal was I was up in them trees and I didn't get all of it. You know what I mean? Come up and jump. I don't know.
Sometimes
it's been all year
it
like
depends
that.
on how high they are in the column, too, though, I feel like on the spinnerbait. Like, if you hit them too good, it's like they're already at the surface. And then it's like,
that tournament you won in North Carolina the first day, the 8-6 I caught the second day, I break it off the first day. Pitch my bug out there and go to reel it by the tree, and it just wakes out there and eats it and swims over to the tree and breaks my line. 4 flips on that tree the next day. I said, one gets it. I'm like, it's the male. No, it was 8-6. It was her. Same fish I break off the day before.
Does she have the line still?
No.
Oh, God.
I think she
spit it?
Oh, no, I think she ate it.
Hey, extra
when she came up and
8 3/4.
I don't know. Yeah. It's just fishing, man.
Yeah, it is.
Stuff happens fishing.
Yeah,
crazy.
Greg, you've been around a long time. I'm not trying to age you.
I did just have a birthday recently, too, so
happy birthday.
I've been around one more year.
Happy birthday. You're a lot younger than me, but a fair amount older than these guys. What do you think of the talent that's coming into the sport? I'm not talking about the guys who are renowned with the technology necessarily, but I'm talking about the guys who can also do it with the traditional methods like Kyle and Patrick.
Probably the 2 best hands in the country sitting right here beside me that are all around. Technology, no technology, doesn't make any difference. And there are a lot of guys out there right now that are doing really well that I do think it's technology-based, not these 2.
No, they can do it either way. And what's impressive to me is they're finding ways to use the technology in a situation where a lot of guys would have said, well, the technology is not going to play here. They're still finding ways to make it play.
Maybe because they really think like a bass fisherman.
Well, I hope they think like a bass fisherman. I think they'd be thinking like that anyway, but I think they're finding ways, maybe because their age, their experience, they're finding ways to adapt the old and the new.
So I think I know they're hard workers. I honestly, like both of them, are much harder workers than me. I'm not staying out there as late as they do. I'm not that mad at them anymore. But the deal is, the other thing that they have going, they're both naturally gifted. Like, so that's always been a big deal in our sport. Like, you have guys that are hard workers, but you see them, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, but these guys are hard workers, but naturally gifted. They get it. Like, they catch them when there's no practice. They catch them with lots of practice. It doesn't matter. They're just going to catch them.
This is a question for you, Kyle, and you, Patrick. I think of our sport as a series of people standing on the shoulders of the folks who came before them and looking up to the guys. And in Greg's day, maybe he was looking up to somebody like a Roland Martin or a Rick Klon. But for you guys, Greg Hackney had to be a pretty solid role model. Am I right?
Yeah, for me, as far as the elites go, he was definitely the one that I wanted to watch, and probably my favorite fisherman to watch, and he was 100% my wife's favorite fisherman to watch. Like, him flipping down the bank, and my wife still to this day is, me and her fish a lot of tournaments together. We used to fish more, and she's a flipper. Like, that's all she wants to do is flip down the bank. So she used to ask me, I'd be like, you want to fish tournament tomorrow? And she'd say, are we going to scope or flip? I'm like, it's November. We got to scope a little bit. She's like,
either or. No in between.
She would not go if we were going to go scoping. But you were her favorite angler. You're my favorite angler. But as you start to compete against people, it turns into more of a respect deal than like a, I'm not as much of a fan as I was, but I have even more respect now that I've fished around him and, gotten to know him a little bit. But I used to be a huge Greg Hackney fan. And, all those guys that were at the top whenever I was really interested in the sport, one thing, my biggest, things I've missed out on in the sport is I didn't get to really compete against Aaron Martins or KVD, but I did get to compete against Hackney a couple times and Swindle, so that's something I'm pretty proud of.
Absolutely. What about you, Patrick?
I 100% agree. Like, when you're growing up, you're a fan. Like, I can remember almost every tournament Greg's really done good in, whether it's Amistad, whether it's Dardanelle, Godzilla over there, you know what I'm talking about.
That's been a long time.
That's been a minute. But
that Texoma tournament.
The Texoma was darn good. Sapphire blue, skirt and trailer. I remember everything. I mean, it's like, but like Kyle said, you were a fan. And, like, growing up, those were the people you idolized. That you were like, well, you kind of like, I'm not going to say you copy, but it's like, those are the guys that catch bass. How are they catching bass? And it's like, those are the best in the world, hands down. And now, when you start fishing, you got multiple years on tour, it's like, it is a respect thing. It's like Kyle said, it's not necessarily a fan thing, but it's like, they were the best. They're still the best.
Right.
And that's a great point, because we're seeing an era in the sport where the technology is perhaps benefiting the younger anglers who are more familiar with technology, and a lot of those guys are dominating. Now, here where we don't have the latest technology in terms of forward-facing sonar, a guy who's 52 years old like Greg Hackney is right here. He's a dangerous, dangerous man. And yet I'm impressed. What I love about the NPFL right now is the spread of the ages and stuff like that. And I don't feel like this is going to be dominated by the older guys who have more traditional experience, because look at what you guys are doing.
I don't think it has anything to do with technology. I think it's all right here. This man right here is one of the most mentally sharp guys out there. So is Kyle. He's a poker player. Professionally, he was.
Retired.
Do you still play? Retired?
I rarely play.
If somebody met you one time, you're like, are you retired? You're retired. Would they say that?
It's kind of like fishing. You don't really retire.
Okay.
But you can play.
Do you think you'll go back and do it again?
I doubt it. The climate's a lot different.
Really?
They're kind of met with the exact same thing at the exact same time that we are, as far as AI and computer programs and stuff that just kind of almost have solved the game as close as it could be solved, and we're like, it's parallel as close as it could be to what we have.
I just think that's just our society in general, that
you're not wrong.
Everything is going that way.
Oh, for sure.
The whole deal now is you can go to school and the AI will solve all your questions at school. So I think this year they just banned that at college.
They did. Some of them.
Yeah, some of that, So, it's the world we live in. It's not just
technology.
Fishing. Yeah, it's everything,
it's everything. Yeah.
We want it to be easier. Oh, everybody wants to get.
Well, whether it's a young guy or an older guy, whether they have technology or don't have technology, It's still up here.
All that matters.
You still
is
have to be able to
finding
practice
You gotta
and find them.
Yeah.
And you can find them and pull up and not catch them, but you got to know they're there. So that's where the mental aspect. That's what wins tournaments. That's what makes a good fisherman a good fisherman. Hands down.
There was stuff being written when I was a kid and getting into the sport in the 70s. Statements like, you can find structure without bass, but you will never find bass without structure. Well, it turns out that's a lie.
That's definitely false.
And they would also say things like, that the bass just didn't do certain things, bass didn't wander aimlessly through the water columns, and I love that the technology is teaching us that those things were wrong. Mm-hmm. But I do have an issue with the fair chase element of forward-facing sonar. You can't hunt deer with a drone, and it seems to me like forward-facing is on some level a drone.
They can hide. They can still hide.
Well, and they cannot bite.
Well,
like if you see the deer, you can kill the deer most of the time.
I'll be honest with you, we're growing a group of anglers right now. I'm just going to tell you they're biting.
Yeah, they get the bite.
If they can see them, they're caught.
Yeah, they catch them. If it doesn't bite, they'll just throw something with more tentacles.
They're going to figure out how to, and that deal is just starting.
Do what? Have you ever thrown a tentacle bait?
Yeah, I've thrown some.
Okay, I mean, I wouldn't. I've never done it.
Really? No fuzzy dice for you, Patrick Walters?
I ain't no dice guy.
I've even thrown it. I know it's terrible.
Hey.
But here's my deal. I'm like, basically that was a jig.
I can see that. Fuzzy dice, is it just they're seeing something different now and they don't know it's a fake? Or is it truly representing?
So here's the whole deal with a fish. A great big one that's this long. His brain is the size of my thumbnail. I mean, it is what it is. So what made him so smart is when we couldn't see him.
Right.
Now that we can see him, he's not near. What made him an adversary before is when you were guessing his next move without being able to see him make that move. Okay, now that you can see it, what we proved. I watched a guy at Lake Fork in one of our tournaments break a 6-pounder off and chase that fish around for 60 minutes and catch it. 20 minutes, sorry, not 60. 20 minutes, catch it. It's got the jerk bait he just broke off, and then the other one he just caught it on in its mouth. And when that happened, I'm watching this live, and I'm like, we have opened Pandora's box. We will never close it again. And we won't. Right. It is what it is.
You're right.
And here's the deal. Whether you like it or you don't, it doesn't make any difference. This deal is here to stay. Like, I don't hunt deer with a spotlight, but I can go to somebody's property. It's the reason that guys can travel to a lake they've never seen before and compete at a high level, okay? Before, there'd be an advantage. There's going to be an advantage for you this week because you do know this lake and it's fishing tough. I mean, it's easy to get bites, but to catch the fish that you need to catch, so you have an advantage. If we were all out there and this whole group was shining, you wouldn't have an advantage.
No, I would have no advantage.
That's it.
There's a lot out there.
Yeah, I know.
I saw them on DI. I was like, good. They're going through bait balls.
I caught one of them cranking bait balls this week, but you can't target the big ones.
Yeah, but see, that's the deal. I know that. That's where the majority of all those 3-pound spotted bass, there's schools of them swimming around out there. But the deal with that is that's the reason now a guy that has never seen this pond before can come here in 3 days and shine around. So if you're a deer hunter, I've never been to your property. Give me a spotlight. Give me 3 days. I'll kill the biggest deer on your property. I don't care if he's 7 or 8 years old and he's unkillable during the daytime. When I find that light, when I'm shining with that light, he can't hide from it.
Right.
Bass fishing's the same way. A lot of people don't understand this that don't hunt and fish. They don't understand that part of it, but that's kind of what we've turned it into.
Yeah.
And what I think in the long run, honestly, this is my opinion, it'll get to where a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
I think that's the only issue that I have with it. Like, you know what I mean?
I used to think they would go back to the bank, but they won't.
No, I don't think so. But I do think that over time, it's not like they were all on the bank anyway.
No, but it seems like there's less now.
No, but
it is less up there.
Yeah, but what the cool thing was before, when they were out there, they never got bothered. So when they did swim up and get on,
they bit.
They might have went 11 months without seeing a bait. Not because people weren't fishing everywhere. They just weren't fishing where they were.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, this big school gets on a spot, and you just every cast fast you can get them. That's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they're an animal. They can't reason, but they just know, hey, I had a bad experience with this, so I just keep, you know, doing something else.
Yeah. So we had a pay lake open close to my house this year that has not been open like 5 years. It got stocked, nothing but largemouth. I went like the third day it was open, and I scoped out in the middle. There was no bass floating in the middle. None. Zero.
What time of year?
It was February or March. There was none. Zero. I mean, small place. I trod all the way down the middle. Well, I fished, and then I came back like 3 days later. They were everywhere in the middle. Every one of them had a hook hole. Every single one of them had a hook hole. It's like as soon as they got caught on the bank, then they were out there in the middle.
So, you know, that's what happened to the so when guys were triangulating, they lining up a tree, a mailbox, a light pole, and they found these offshore schools, and they were catching them. And then all of a sudden they came out with Navionics, and then you could see the juice.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they didn't. I even heard Clun say this, which blew my mind, but he was like, oh, well, they don't do that anymore. I'm like, they don't do that anymore because you burnt their butt on that juice hole. That's the reason they don't get there anymore.
Right.
Dude, if you go to a place where they're not pressured, they're on every juice spot there are.
Yeah.
That's community for a reason.
Yeah.
That's what you, I mean, it's...
Yeah, what made the community
current hits
good.
it, whether it's
That's
hard
it.
bottom, something. It's, yeah.
It's almost like that, but a lot quicker in that, like, all of a sudden they put out all this mapping. Humminbird had Lake Master, Navion. You know, all of a sudden, all these juice places, and you were like, wow, I didn't really know why they got there. That was a good place down this drop. Well, then all of a sudden, when that map came out, you were like, oh, I know why they got there.
And then live coverage on all the famous lakes.
That
burned all the well-known lakes, 100%.
And we felt like we needed to show the public where every bass was caught.
Mm-hmm.
We had a map.
Here's the map.
Here's the map.
Everyone over 3 pounds? Here you go. Everyone over 5 pounds?
They put a gold coin.
Here you go.
I'm like, well, you pretty much burn all that down.
There's a phrase for that, guys. You're describing a phrase that biologists are now using called unnatural selection. Because what you're doing as the best in the world, but what we're all doing, even guys is no better than me, is we are going out, we are catching the most aggressive fish, we are keeping the biggest fish, either to take to a weigh-in or something like that, and some of those fish are not making it. So we're selecting the biggest and the most aggressive fish, and we're killing some of them in the process. So what are we leaving behind? The less aggressive fish who are not growing as fast.
Yeah.
So we are gradually creating a new genetic makeup.
We're just being humans.
Yeah, I call that victim of circumstance.
That's it.
That he was in the wrong place at the wrong time when I went in there.
It's survival of the fittest on some level. It really is. But okay, not to belabor the forward-facing thing, but when I was coming up, and when Greg was coming up, and even to a great degree when you guys were coming up, there was a saying that there is no substitute for time on the water. But is the technology a substantial shortcut these days?
I don't think so, because I think the deal with those guys that are so good with it, their time on the water is with it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
They're still spending time on the water.
Thousands of hours at it.
They're spending thousands of hours. The difference is they just do that. When it gets daylight in the morning and they turn it on, they do that, and they fish till dark in the afternoon, and that's what they've done. What I've noticed that's changed, Sarita and I talked about it today, is that I see guys fish tournaments now and got in earplugs and listen to music. So, like in this tournament, you won't be able to do that. You will use every sense you have. You want to hear if one blows up.
Yep.
You want to hear a bluegill suck. Anything that goes on. That's the part that I see different. Like, I use all my senses. Like, all of a sudden, one might blow up, and I turn and look, and it's a whole school, and it keys you in on the deal. So when a guy but the deal is they listen to music and stare at the screen. It's a totally different mindset. They could care less if one blew up because they don't care. They only care about what they see. But they are spending a lot of time doing it. I get that. But my deal is I'm like, man, for me, this is me personally, I enjoy all the aspects of it, like the wind blew out of the east. It moved things here. I ran down the lake and fished a deal today because the weather got right. I have not made a cast all week. That's the things that we won't see anymore. We would see a guy leading a tournament and on the last day do something totally different because he got up in the morning. It had been crisp every morning. He gets up the next morning, there are bugs circling the nightlight outside the house he's in. He goes, they're biting. I need to be frogging today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We won't see that anymore. I think that's probably my biggest holdup on it is, these guys catch fish with that thing like it's unbelievable. But the deal is what we're not seeing the more well-rounded. Used to Angler of the Year, these cats. Cranking, flipping, sight fishing. They've done it all. We went to lakes that were flooded. 2 lakes that were flooded this year. We went to Santee Cooper. It was cold. They were sight fishing for smallmouth. You see what I mean? They are very well-rounded. They're not doing one thing every day. Now, with that being said, that one thing is hard to beat. Like it works day in and day out as long as you can see when to throw at. The deal is the other thing I've noticed about it is guys will be like, oh, I don't learn anything if I'm not looking at it. I'm like, well, turn it off and show me what you've learned.
There you go.
Because what you've learned is all you've learned is what you see.
The nuances.
These cats are catching them, and they ain't seeing them. Does that make sense?
Makes
You still learn, though. You take note where they're at.
I think it is kind of a shortcut because time on the water used to be how you gathered info.
100%.
And then now, with this technology, I feel like you can, retain info at 5 times more in a day of fishing.
Easily.
More info. So, I mean,
But the only
it could
thing
be
is
more.
you cut down on your tackle selection. Do you see how many poles he has out normally? It's incredible.
Well,
Did you see this week yet?
No, I haven't seen it this week.
There's like 10 in the back. Well, I mean, it's just so I don't know what I'm going to run into. Oh, no, it's like
another 10
they're
back.
stacked on the front.
But I noticed
each
on
side.
most of these depth finder tournaments, they got maybe 1 jerk bait and 3 spinning poles. That's it.
That's all.
That's it.
Yeah.
Every tournament is the same.
That's who you are, though. If I'm on a jerkbait bite, if I have 1 jerkbait on deck, they're not biting a jerkbait. I can promise you that.
Right.
If they're biting a jerkbait, there will be 5 jerkbaits on my deck. It's a tool, and that's what
the
everything
same
is.
way,
It's
like whatever you're doing. You have different sizes.
100%.
If you're flipping,
That's
you
what
got
it
a
is.
5/8, a half, a 3/8, whatever. You know what I mean? Like you got different sizes.
Well, each one does something different. This one goes deeper. This one goes shallower. This one goes faster. So it's like there's always something.
But I see most of the time like 3 minutes and a jerk bait. That's real common these days.
You're not wrong.
Well, there used to be another saying that I'd read all the time as a kid, and the saying was, catching fish is easy, finding fish is what is hard. And I think the technology has closed a lot of the gap on that.
100%.
I agree with that.
It's kind of flipped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now finding them's easier than catching them.
Than
a lot of
catching
times.
them, right.
Yeah.
And I think to catch them,
They're on every spot.
Time.
They're on every spot you've ever been to.
Right.
When they're not here, they're not biting right now. They've been there. If you got the best point in the lake or whatnot, your favorite spot, everybody goes to, any point, truly. You go to it, and back in the day, you'd fish back, oh, they're just not here. They were there the entire time. It just wasn't a feed window. They're not biting. So that's what it shows you. It's when you start catching them, you're fishing for fish that want to bite. 100%. That's the difference.
Do you guys ever tie in what you know now about fish location, the fact that they're basically always on those key spots you'd expect them to be on? Do you ever try to tie that in with something like the salooner tables or something, or do you just not worry about that at all?
Greg probably does. I don't think we do.
I think about barometric pressure, but that's just
Pressures.
Yeah, that's a big deal. But it's almost always lower in the morning, so you get your best stuff early, typically.
It's just like a big deer. Barometric pressure makes a difference. Lunar.
That's the first time he got quiet.
Yeah.
I'm just listening. You don't learn if you say it.
Man's soaking it up. He's hunting you down.
Yeah.
You're going down this week, Walter.
He's got some thoughts on this one.
I think the first day we're going to have dropping pressure.
It's
Ought to be good.
Yeah, well, could be.
as good as it can be.
He's already told me he's got a spot at 21 pounds. Easy.
Yeah.
21 strong.
21 pounds of catfish.
I can't believe how warm the water is.
Yeah.
I saw 86 today.
85 is what I know. Yeah.
And I also found 77.
I haven't found that. About 83 to 85 most places I've been.
You didn't go far enough back.
Oh, I've been up some creeks. I probably didn't pay any attention. I've been a
That's
couple places where I know it was cooler, but
Is he trying to psych you out when he says you haven't been far enough?
You can't psych that. You can't psych him out.
About them days ago.
He's going to do what he's going to do.
That's
why he catches bass.
All right, Greg, you've won AOY on 2 major circuits, FLW, BASS. What would a third title? What would be the only guy to win on the 3
So here's
circuits?
the deal. I'm behind the 8 ball. I knew that coming into this event. So I always have to do something to build myself up. Does that make sense? Psych myself up. I want to be in a good place. So I looked at it and I said, my goal is after this event is to be the guy this year that won the most money. I have a better chance of doing that than I do of beating one of them for Angler of the Year. But I can beat them out of a bunch of money. So at my age, the trophies are very important. They always will be. But as you get older, 30-year-olds, they want that trophy. 50-year-old wants that check. So I'm like, you know what? I'd be just as happy with a big check this week. So, and let them go ahead and win that Angler
I don't know.
of the Year.
These guys are looking at the wallet too.
My wife must be 50. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, God.
He said that. I was
you might.
Honey, you're watching.
That joke might.
she's watching.
She is
100%.
definitely watching.
That was hilarious, but
that
that's
was
not really
great.
worth it.
That's always worth it.
These guys are business guys. These guys are hardcore.
That's funny.
But I get that.
But so here's the deal. I can't really have a bad tournament this week. Honestly, I've had a great year. I don't have any. It is what it is.
Did you get the T-shirt made yet?
What's the T-shirt say?
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. The deal. You know what I mean?
How about that?
I saw that. What was that?
Cutting the head off an alligator with a box cutter, and I had in my hand, and I'm reaming that skin out from under its chin. Slipped. Got in a hurry. My daughter killed a alligator, 10-foot one. I'm gonna cut the head off of it and to have it skull mounted.
Yeah.
And I was tired of fooling with it. It was hot, and I just didn't want to fool with it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just peeling that. Just put a new blade in that box cutter, and I'm just peeling that hide and run it right through my hand.
How long ago?
That was Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty fresh.
Yeah. My wife's a veterinarian. She sewed it up.
Nice.
Yeah, we were at the camp. I didn't want to have to go to the doctor, so.
30-pound braid or something, 20?
No, it was actually surgical stuff or whatever, but the thing is she didn't have anything to deaden it with, and I didn't know if I could do it at first, but I'm like, I was a little scared of the deal, and she runs it the first time. I'm like, I don't know. I think I can do this, and then she sewed it right
You
up.
take your belt off and start biting it. You're like,
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. I was going to get in some whiskey, but I didn't think I could get it down quick enough.
it would take too long to take effect.
It would. Yeah. We needed to get it sealed up quick.
You're feeling good there? It's not impairing your fishing any?
Not at all.
That's good. So you guys still got something to worry about here. Mr. Hackney
I'll take him out
You
tomorrow.
always got to worry about
I was about
it.
to say, I mean, it's Hackney. Just mentioning his name, I mean, you got to worry about it.
He's a legend. You know, what is it like to have the admiration of so many young anglers out there? What is it like to get signed so many autographs? Because I've known you a long time, and I've known you before you were.
So it's funny thing about the whole autograph deal, that still to some extent feels funny to me to do that. Does that make sense? Like I've never been like, oh yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, but I'm like, it's kind of weird.
Well, not to put anybody in our industry down, but you guys are niche celebrities. You know, there is a narrow range of people in this country who are deeply interested in this sport, but you are household names to them all. So you're like the LeBron James of your sport. But yeah, you can go to a Target anytime you want and not be harassed. I mean, I get that.
Right.
And you guys are new to that, but you signed a ton of autographs too. What was that like when you signed your first few autographs?
I remember the first time somebody asked me for an autograph, and it caught me off guard. Like, it definitely caught me off guard. And then my dad was with me, and he was like, nah, he wants your autograph. And I was like, mine? So I signed like this little kid's hat. That was the first time I ever gave an autograph, but it definitely caught me off guard. It still feels weird, but now everybody just wants to take a picture, seems like.
Yeah, that's more the big deal now, picture.
Yeah.
Patrick?
The craziest thing I ever signed was in college. I signed a kid's prosthetic leg.
Oh,
A couple years later,
that is
met
not
him
where
again.
I thought that was going.
Signed this. He got a new leg. Signed it again.
Nice.
Swear to you, it was the craziest thing.
Did you think that's where he was going with that?
I wasn't sure.
The craziest thing I ever signed in college, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, here we go.
We're not. We ain't starting actions yet.
Well, where'd you go to college?
But it is different. It's something you don't think of because it's like we're just bass fishermen. That's all we do. We're just normal guys. We go home.
Sure.
We just mind our own business. That's all we do.
But on some level, I'd like to think that Brad Pitt and Tom Brady are normal guys. I'd like to think that, But do you enjoy the celebrity?
I think calling it celebrity is a little generous.
Yeah.
But there's times where I really enjoy it, but I just like bass fishing. Like, I just like doing the tournaments. But I do enjoy talking to people, talking to fans. Sometimes there could be some awkward moments, but overall, I think I like it.
Till you get to meet. It's the doors it opens. It really is.
Yeah.
Greg, you've signed 1 million autographs. You like it? You like that celebrity or
1 million? You think you have reached 1 million? 1 million.
I don't know about
well,
1 million.
maybe not 1 million, but
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
But you guys, at least you got to admit, it's good to be recognized when you're walking through a major tackle show. And wouldn't it be horrible if you could walk through the major tackle show and nobody stopped you?
Yeah, that'd be worst case scenario.
Those are the years you don't want.
Yeah,
that's like when you did not catch them.
That was my rookie year. Like, you go everywhere, nobody knew who you were.
But that's everybody's rookie year.
Right.
That's everybody's rookie
year. So it makes Julie uncomfortable. We'll go places and people are like, hey, can I get my picture taken with you? And I'm like, I said, here's a good thing. As long as they want to do that, like, that's a good thing. Like, when all of a sudden we just go places and nobody ever says anything, I'm like, it's not good anymore.
Was it more frequent in, like, the early Elite Series? Like, did it feel like there was more fans?
No, I don't know. I can't hardly go anywhere now without.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's also, though, you've been doing it long enough. It's like you've done
so there is something to that.
I was about to say.
Yeah, when you've been out there long enough, I mean, you're more recognizable. You've been around a long time.
You also, like, the people who watch 2 tournaments a year, it's going to take them a while to actually tune into a couple tournaments you do get in.
Yeah. Now, I do find that with most people, they don't really know what goes on. They don't know how you finished the last time. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know how you finished the last 5 tournaments,
The other great thing about the respect you guys have earned through your careers, because you're all wildly accomplished, is your sponsors and the companies that make the equipment you use probably listen to you a lot more nowadays than they did before.
Do they?
I don't think they listen as much.
I don't think they're watching. So here's the deal. Like, right now, I don't think they're listening too much. Like, all of our industry's going that one way right now, and I just think that's the way everybody's going. Like, I'll be honest with you, not a lot of people are calling up and go, do we need a new plug?
Right.
Are we cranking new plugs this week? We need one that gets a little deeper.
Right.
Huh? Are we really, like, is that a thing?
Now jigs are this big. Don't want a spinning rod.
Or either that or it's a square cube with some tentacles hanging out of it. Yeah, or a minnow. And a head that makes the minnow float or makes it sink, or we turn the eye backwards and I see somebody throwing one that the head is jointed. I don't know.
I saw one where it was jointed in, like, the last 40% was jointed. I saw that
40%?
Something like that. Like, the tail.
No, the deal I'm talking about.
No, not the bait.
I'm talking about the head.
Oh, the head.
The head was jointed on the hook.
Would that roll?
It was so it would roll.
I think that's...
You've not seen...
I think that's the joint in the wrong place there.
Yeah, that seems like it would actually absorb the action.
Yeah, well, the deal was the way the ring was turned. It wasn't turned this way. It was turned this way, and then the eye was turned back.
Okay.
Like the eye is turned towards the hook point.
I could see that.
I don't know. This is all new to me.
It's new to me, too.
I still got a jig. It has a weed guard on it.
Yeah. When he says a jig, it is weedless. It's got a skirt
now,
on
let me tell you a crazy deal. So when we were at 10 Killer, I was flipping bushes with a jig. One of our newer anglers, he's talking to me. I'm honest. I was like, yeah. I said when the water was higher before it fell, I was using a 1 ounce. And then during the tournament, I used a 3/4. And he goes, wow. He goes, you just went straight old school all week. And I'm like, really, dude? I was flipping bushes with a jig. When did that become old school? Like, when he said that, though, I'm like, what? Yeah, they still bite that.
Sat down and tied another jig on.
No, for real. It's one of the ones that have come along that
is... Did you beat him? That one?
Yeah, I did.
Did you make sure you went and double checked it?
No, I did. I knew I beat him that week. But my deal was, I'm like, when he said that, I'm like, what? when did a jig become old school?
No, you guys
know. A jig will be around
forever.
100%.
Forever.
It's the most versatile bait.
No. Fishing is fashion. There was not a fish caught on a spinnerbait between 2006 and 2019 because every fish was caught on a chatterbait or a squarebill during that period. I think we all know that, right?
For sure. That's how it felt.
It did.
Yeah.
It was like when they came out with a bladed jig, that just completely ended the spinnerbait there for a while.
I talked to some anglers my rookie year on the elites and second year. I was like, if you could just find a way to catch more weight than they catch on the bank with a chatterbait, you'll win every tournament. But you couldn't do it.
Dude,
you're actually not wrong, though.
You could
not beat the chatterbait.
They just locked it in their hand, and it was everywhere you went.
On both tours. On both tours, it was like 6 of the top 10 throwing a chatterbait.
Every tournament.
2 years.
Yes.
Like, it was crazy.
Crazy.
Well, we can all agree the bladed jig's an amazing lure. Probably the best new design of the last 25 years. But was it mostly the fact that these fish were seeing something they had never seen before, or was the chatterbait
It's how efficient it is.
Mining new areas.
It's so easy to use, too.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Chunk and line.
You know, like, you got a 5-year-old.
Skip
he
it.
Can throw he might not skip it, but he can throw a
Throw it
chatterbait.
and wind it in.
Right. And it had a lot of draw power, too, at first.
It did, yeah.
It seems like it doesn't now, but...
But it still catches them good.
They still do bite it.
Yeah, they still bite it.
And they still bite spinnerbaits, and they still bite, anything
Well, you can skip a
name.
chatterbait.
Yeah,
You
you
can
can
skip a spinnerbait.
It'll go right under them boat docks. Just
It will. And it'll roll on that cross member, too.
It does that.
Way under there.
And it'll stand up on a bed. There's a lot of things you can do with chatterbait. It hunts.
Okay.
I mean,
You're opening something new to us. We have not tried that.
well, you got
tried
to.
it?
No, I'm apprehensive to open hook baits on a bed.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Okay, I can see why. Yeah, you got an in the mouth issue there. But these baits, they go out of style. Colors go out of style. I mean, Greg goes back to the days of things like Tequila Sunrise and Scuppernong, and you don't see those.
I don't
colors
even
anymore.
own a Tequila Sunrise worm anymore.
But you got Scuppernong.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
But those
caught thousands of bass on a Tequila Sunrise. Red shad.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
red shad.
Like, what happened? But let me tell you one thing that has changed on our lakes. Our lakes, much like myself, have aged. The water is cleaner in these places now than it's ever been before. As these lakes have aged, when they do get runoff, they're dirty for a day and a half. They pull water on the other end, they're clean.
Yep.
spotted bass are taking over.
This lake. So I remember when the classics were here, giant largemouth. Bob Hamilton's big spinnerbait brush piles. Giant 6-7 pounders.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, this lake.
This lake used to have giants.
Giants in it. But then the lake's aged. They clean up. It's better conditions for the spotted bass. Because, it had Coosa spots then.
Yeah.
But they weren't a factor. The largemouth were a factor.
Right.
But, and that's happened all across the country. Here's the deal. Most of us will never get an opportunity to fish a new lake again.
That's true. Yeah, they stopped
We
building
just
new lakes in the
rotate
When
around the
Texas
same
opened that boat arc,
boat
I wanted to go there so bad because I've never fished a new lake. Like the closest you've done it when they opened that lake up this year.
Well, I fished it like 10 years ago before they drained it and restocked it, and it was terrible. But I had fished it before, but
so you don't really
it's
get
kinda
opportunities to fish new lakes unless you go to
that's
Texas.
so that type of fishing is going away anyway. You know what I mean? The lakes are cleaner. They don't get dirty. They do a better job of flood control. The lakes don't fluctuate like they did before.
Because if they did, you'd get that new lake effect. If they dropped it down and grass started growing
But they don't do that.
They don't do that anymore.
So we just don't get that type of fishing anymore.
right.
And I don't want to go too deep into the ways that can be combated. You can actually.
Greg. Are you about to get on that?
There's a saddle coming in here.
don't let
Yeah. No, you're leading. We should actually put you on that saddle. The saddle has showed up.
That's it.
This is actually a component of AOY. Whoever lasts longest on the saddle gets 25 extra AOY points. Greg Hackney could leave this restaurant leading AOY.
I'm good, Todd. I don't want it.
Because whoever lasts the longest gets 25. Nobody else gets a single point.
I'll take it. That's what you call a good time.
Feeling them college days, aren't you, Patrick?
Go sign the saddle.
He's been to sign something.
There's no prosthetic legs up there. Yeah.
You have to turn the camera around. They have to see this. I know that's making it through this.
100%. I can hear it.
Anybody can hear us right now.
Mark is getting after it.
Does this thing move?
He's making it
It
move.
does. That wheel is asking for help.
Got a couple buttons.
I mean, golly. It has had it.
It's a Western saddle on like
That's September and Logan Martin right there in the nutshell.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Go Dogs. I got to do that, and Patrick's got to support the Gamecocks. So, but all right, Kyle Welcher, you've got one of those trophies already, and I think that's the best looking trophy in the biz. Quite honestly, I think that big gold shield with
The platinum one looks pretty good.
He's going to have to build him an extra room on his house to put all of them
Exactly.
What's platinum?
The championship.
Championship's platinum?
It actually looks pretty good.
But what would a second AOY trophy mean to you?
You know, it means a lot to me because I think that consistency is the hardest thing to obtain in anything in life, but especially a sport with, thousands of variables a day. It's really, really hard. And I have a poker background, so whenever you have success, a lot of times you don't know if you got lucky or not, but to be in contention, multiple times in a row, at some point, you can feel like you're not lucky, like maybe you are good at what you're putting all your time into. So it would just be more validation, really. But I'm super competitive, so if there's any trophy, period, I want it. Like, I want it bad.
Well, I mentioned to everybody here that Kyle's worst finish in 2 years in the NPFL is 18th. That was last year. He's not.
Where was that at?
Where was that one? I don't remember
I was at
offhand.
Saginaw Bay.
Saginaw, okay.
Yeah.
Now, his worst finish this year is 13th.
And where was that at?
You follow. His last 4 tournaments, he's been 3rd, 2nd, 13, and 2nd.
That's not bad.
Too bad.
It's not too bad. But,
13.
Patrick
That's
Walters.
terrible, dude.
Patrick Walters' worst finish this year is also 13th.
And where was that at?
That was at
God.
Douglas. But this year he's 6th, the 4th, the 13th. Just killing it. Just absolutely, guys are killing it. Okay, cool. We're gonna have a little extra time before I treat you guys to dinner. If you can hang around, I'd be happy to buy y'all dinner.
We will eat.
Be my honor. Patter's had a massive season. He's got 3 top 6s this year. Greg's had an incredible season. Not only has he won one, he's got 3 top 8s. Does it almost feel unfair that you guys have each had an AOY caliber season, and yet only one of you can take home the trophy?
Not at all. Never. That means somebody beat you. That means you didn't do good enough. That's somebody putting in the time.
That's exactly how
That's what that is.
You didn't do good enough.
You didn't do good enough. And that sounds crazy. You can have the best season, and I'm telling you, we beat ourselves up. I guarantee you both of them on the ones you didn't do good in. You can win a tournament, you think about those, but I think back more of the ones you did not catch them in. Those are the ones that eat you up at night. You lose sleep.
Yeah, you don't think about the ones you caught them in.
No, you don't. You forget about those.
Yeah.
And the people that tell stories about the time they caught them, they make the ones. I'm telling you, and we all know that.
Yeah. You guys
That's the ones you were like, God, he done talked about it. That age 6 he done lost. He went back and got her. But it's the ones you lose. It's the tournament. Those are the differences.
So at that same tournament, I caught a 10-pounder. I lost it twice.
I know. I was watching.
Well, then I caught it.
I didn't see you catch it. I turned it off when you missed it the second time. I'm like, well, there goes my extra bonus money. Click.
Well, I caught the fish, and I was still talking to my cameraman about losing it 3 hours later. It was in the live well.
It eats you up.
I was still like...
Wonder why you lost it the first couple times.
So the first time was my fault. I saw it sitting up there, and I'm in the wind, and I just made like a weird pitch to it, and I saw it come off the stump and go down on my scope, and I just felt the bite. And I was just drifting towards it. I was just out of position. I hit it, and I had it for a second, but the second time, I hit it clean, pretty. Like, it was swimming away from me, quarter. I set the hook on it, dude, and it just goes out of deep water, and I feel a head shake, and it comes off. And it just felt perfect. And that's what I was talking about. I understand why I lost it the first time.
So when you lost it the second time, how long did it take you before you got it to bite again?
It was probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
God, but it came right back. Came back pretty quick.
It came back while I was retimed.
How about that? You knew you were going to catch it when
fired up.
Yeah.
When
that's teed up.
Well, they lose their mind when they get off the bank. period. If they're spawning on a flat somewhere,
I don't disagree with that.
They lose their mind.
Well, they don't know what's going on.
They have no
Again,
idea.
remember what I said earlier? A great big one's brain's the size.
But also, I think, too, when you're shallow, it's your boat's not
Your presence.
Your presence is not there.
Yeah,
Like if you drop a rubber duck in a bathtub, it doesn't move. But when you get in there, it moves.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't feel that you're on top of them.
Yeah, because how many times if you see one and it's never saw you, you catch that sucker's
first cast.
Yeah, but if all of a sudden it knows you're there, then you spend 30 minutes trying to get it to. It was a one flipper, but it took 30 minutes to catch it. Once it knew you, it saw you too.
Yeah.
You know, then you got to wait for it to get around there and get defensive and get in the right mood.
Yeah.
That and her out there, were they like 3 or 4 feet deep?
They were like 1.5 to 2 foot.
Oh, they were that shallow.
Yeah,
I thought they were a little deeper than that.
Too,
they were shallow.
Oh heck, I didn't realize that.
But the water, the visibility, was
Did she have a hook hole? Like a pull mark or something?
I never looked.
It didn't bother you that bad, did it?
No.
I'd have been like
10-pounder.
Yeah. At that point too, it's just like
I should have looked.
I was just curious if it pulled.
Yeah, they could have.
All right, guys, you guys are all big-time
That's a big
competitors. You
difference.
guys all. Which is it more fun to win or is it more painful to lose?
It's more painful to lose.
More painful to lose all day, any day.
Yes, 100%.
Winning's easy.
To lose, yeah.
Winning is easy. Losing is the one that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah,
I love asking
we
that
get to
question.
blame ourselves the whole time.
I like asking that question because I feel like that tells me something about a competitor. All right, my next question, kind of along those same lines, is let's say you've had a bad tournament and you feel like it's totally self-inflicted, you screwed up. How long do you beat yourself up?
You can never forget that lesson.
So I will tell you this, and they'll learn this with age. I don't dwell on it as long now as I did. At their age, it might be 6 months from now, we'd still be talking about it. Now I don't do that as much. I'm like, because I've done it long enough that I'm like, yeah, you're going to make some mistakes and you're going to have some bad ones. Don't let that mess up the next one.
100%.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. After that day is over, I'm over with. I one day at a time. What is today? Like when you have a bad tournament, like right now, we're about to fish 3 tournaments in a row. After, say you had a bad tournament, you forget about it, go to the next one. It's a couple months down the road is when I get bitter about it. When you're like, God, like
when you have time to think about it. Now, so I will tell you this. That's one reason I like to fish a lot. You just roll right to the.
Yeah.
You just roll right to the next one, and you don't. You go out there and you start practicing. You forgot about last week.
100%. Because you can't think about it.
And then here's the other deal. The best thing is like when you have bad things happen, and they're self-inflicted, or maybe they're not, but you learn from that experience. You're like, well, I'm not doing that again. You know what I mean? Like the next time I'm in this scenario, I'm going to do something different. I will not make that same mistake again. Or if you do, you're just stupid.
Yeah, but when you do, though, it bites you good that second time, though. It's like, God.
And I knew better than that.
You did, though. That's the problem. That's when you're like.
That's the ones I really hate.
I know. Because you know what's coming.
Yeah.
All right, did you guys play organized sports, high school, college?
I didn't. I quit. I was too small. I wasn't a big kid. So 10th grade, I ended that and just full-time
I
fishing.
actually quit playing baseball in 10th grade. I played football because it was in the fall. But it interfered with fishing, and Dad always said you could do a lot of things half-assed, but you can only do
I have the
things good.
exact same story. I quit playing baseball, going into 10th grade, and we started a bass fishing team.
Yep.
Same exact thing. Yep.
There were no bass fishing teams.
Yeah, we didn't have a bass fishing team, but I would have done it, yeah.
I fished my first tournament when I was 11, so now I am 52.
Yeah.
So I've been tournament fishing for quite some time.
You had to guess how old you are? Am I the only one who knew exactly
Yeah, I
how
had
old
to
you
think
were?
about it because I just had a birthday. The crazy thing is, so I've been professionally fishing for 25 years, I guess, and it seems like it's been 5.
I get it. I get it.
It just goes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that it's went this fast.
I've been on the elite for 6 years now, and it seems.
Has it been 6?
It's been 6. You were
the year after me?
I was right after
7?
you. Yeah.
I feel like it's been 3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
My rookie year at Bass was 04. I was
You've been
rookie of the
there
year in
6 years?
04.
Been there 6.
6 years. How long have you been there?
7, I guess.
Yeah.
Old jokers.
I know. Okay. I could feel it, though, when I was like, when you were a rookie, you would like go in the pocket, like, man, that's Greg Hackney on the other side of it. And you like, you'd leave the pocket. You're like, I'm going to let him have it. You know? But now when somebody comes in the pocket I'm fishing, I'm like,
so now I just look for them when I go in the pocket. I'm like,
I'm getting grumpy now.
I'm in the right pocket.
That's perfect. All right, Greg, I want to start this one with you, man, because you have been at it for 25 years. What part of the sport is easier now at 52, and what part of the sport is harder?
So I can tell you, I don't really know what the easier part is. The harder part is the travel. I don't travel near as well. Like, I've traveled so much. If there was anything that I wish that I didn't have to do, it was the travel.
Gotcha.
And it's just getting from point A to point B.
And that's taken a lot of guys out of the game.
I still can, like, I've done this so long, I can be away from home, you know, because one good thing about us, like, we have this season. But when I'm home every day. Like, does that make sense? Like, anytime I'm home every day.
Yeah.
But now, just like these, like, of course, here was like 6.5 hours or whatever to here, but like those long, like the St. Lawrence, 26 hours or whatever, like those places, like that's the hardest thing. Now I have to go a day earlier. I used to could travel 2 days to get to there and start practice the next day. Now I won't do that. I'll leave 1 day off between, just to get over the drive. It's I'm hung over the next day after you've driven like that, you know. So that's probably the hardest thing. I don't know what's gotten easier. Like, I don't get, like, now I don't have any jitters. The jitters happen during the tournament. Like,
the jitters happen when you know she's about to bite it.
Yeah.
When you're like, this is the cast, I'd say that's when the jitters are.
Like, I don't have any trouble sleeping. Man, I go to bed early. I don't care what's on the line the next day. It don't matter about that. When I get up the next morning, I'm like, I drink my coffee. Like, I don't, like, so maybe that part is easier. I don't.
You have a routine now.
I don't have to worry about getting hyped up. I'll get hyped up. You know what I mean? When I need to.
Sure.
Like, and maybe that's another thing I've learned to, that adrenaline rush, to channel that in a positive way and not let it be a hindrance. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, that takes not only experience but maybe even wisdom.
Yeah. So, like, to use it to your advantage and don't let it be a disadvantage.
You know yourself better, maybe,
right?
And you know what it takes for you to succeed. Patrick, how about you? What's you haven't been at it nearly as long as Greg, obviously, but what's harder? What's easier?
I wouldn't say there's probably anything easier except like the routine. Like you said, it's just, you know what to expect. You just got to go out there and perform. It's a job now, so it's like you're going to have to catch them. But like, you don't go to bed nervous anymore. You're not like worried that you're going to catch them. We're going to catch them. If we have 8 hours of fishing, we're going to get the bites we need. We're going to put ourselves around them. The tougher thing is, I wouldn't say travel. Travel is a lot, but honestly, finding the fish to compete at a chance to win, because they're going to catch them. The best that lake can physically produce, and it's just putting yourself around those bass. And I mean, when you got 3 days of practice, it's making good decisions. I mean, that's really the biggest thing. So I'd say finding the winning bass.
I think now maybe they catch them better than the lake produces.
I think so, yeah. I mean, like, it is as good as it can get.
Look at what this guy did at Pasquotank River. My God.
Like, we knew it was going to be good, but we didn't know it was going to be over 100 pounds.
Did you have 40 pounds one day?
No, I had 34 something.
I mean, that's still pretty. I thought you had like 40 pounds.
What did you have total?
118.
118.
Yeah.
What was second?
I don't even know.
60?
I'm going to say 74, maybe. It was
way. I don't remember who it was, but I mean, it was
40-something pounds.
I know it was 45. 45-2, I think, is the margin.
But who finished second?
Was it Brandon Lester?
Lester? Yeah.
It was Lester. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
You're right.
Yeah.
It was Lester.
All right, Kyle, you've been at it quite a while now. What's easier, what's harder?
So, packing my truck to leave is way harder. I have to take so many more baits now. Like, when I was a rookie or first couple years, I had a tote like this big with everything in it that I was going to fish with. And then now it's like, you got to plan for the lakes and bring all this different tackle just from being exposed to the techniques and how many new techniques that came out in the past few years. You got to have all that. And the main thing that's gotten easier is I don't second guess my decisions nearly as much anymore. Like when you come out here, you don't know if what you found is actually any good or, anything. So whenever you decide to go somewhere and make a long run or something, you're always like, man, is this stupid? I just don't do that anymore. I never
thought
second
that
guess.
at the St. Lawrence when I'm running 120 miles. I'm like, how many bass are you? Like in practice, you don't ever do that because you go and put in.
Right.
But then when I'm running up that river or running out, upstream out the river, I'm like,
you're running by a million.
How many?
Every mile, not even a mile, you just passed 25 pounds. 20 pounds. Guaranteed.
Yeah, and then I'm like, and just driving.
Going to 24 pounds.
Yeah.
26, yes.
Well, I had a poacher on the second day. I thought I had a place I saved. It was good. And
it wasn't just you and me, though.
Well, I was the first one there, and then they just start piling in. And then when it got to be so many, I said, just ease around the corner.
That's the best thing to do.
Now, I don't get to interview guys or talk with guys like this, and have a real conversation very often. But one of the things that's fascinated me about tonight is Patrick will say something and Kyle will nod, or Greg will say something and Patrick will nod. Like y'all have very similar ideas about what you do for a living and how the fish behave and stuff like that. So, and that surprised me because I'm sure y'all have a lot of differences too, but what is the difference? That's got to be true among a lot of guys you're competing against. So what is it that makes you guys the best? What is the difference? Is it hard work? Is it hard work because you can't all three be the first to launch and the last to pull out at the end of the day?
I think it's mentality. And I've been to, if you're tired, I'm going to sleep. I won't practice sometimes till 9 o'clock. Till 9:30. If I'm tired, you have to get rest. So
I do that. So that's the one thing that's changed. Now I do know he's a daylight till darker every day. Yeah. My deal is I'll lose my want to. I don't want to stay out there to the point where
you can't.
So my deal is when that sun gets at a bad angle and I can't hide from it in my hood anymore, it's time for me to go. I'm serious. Like this evening was hot. By 4:30, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to catch them all. So, and that is the other thing. If I need to take a day off, I won't practice every day. I do that on occasion. Like, I will say, like, after that certain tournaments, I'll just practice 2 days.
I've done that. Especially if sometimes the wind's going to blow, it's going to be bad. You're more beneficial to be at the house because you're going to tear stuff up.
Well, either that or here's the other deal. I have a problem sometimes of getting on too much. I'll find a different area every day. You know what I mean?
You can only fish so much.
And you can only fish so much. So it kind of depends on if I'm spot or pattern. If I'm dialed in a pattern, chances are I won't practice as much. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Because now I got the whole lake to run. I know what to look for. Mm-hmm. But if it's going to be more of a spot deal, I'm more apt to. Now I did practice all 3 days here just because it's tough, but you know what I mean, like, because I'm looking for a spot, not necessarily a pattern. I mean, there's tons of fish out there. Like I said, there'll be 100 limits in this deal, but the key will be catching those 3-pound plus fish, so that's kind of different. So I did some different stuff today. So, but yeah, so I never really considered myself. Now I go hard, but like I also try to work smarter. I see guys. I'll use Jason Christie as a deal. A couple tournaments this year, he was tired. We were fishing back to back, and I'm like, dude, just ease up a little bit. Get him now.
100%.
I'd rather go out there for 4 hours and be 100% as I had to practice for 16 hours and be at 20%.
Yeah.
I'm not calling him out, but I mean, he goes hard too, like you do. Yeah. And I'm like, but he's as old, maybe he's a hair older than me, maybe. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you got to pick your battles. Mule's old, but he's got to have some kick. You know what I mean? Like, so don't burn yourself out. You got to use this more than, you don't have that problem, but what I'm saying is when you 50-year-old Kyle Welcher might have that problem. Yeah. Because a lot of years, a lot of standing on the front of the boat over here. You know what I mean? He told me that. He goes, man, I'm tired. He even talked about what he was going to do next year. He didn't know what he was going to do because he felt like this deal wore on him.
This was a lot.
It was a lot this year.
It was.
Yeah. Like we drove from Sabine to Douglas.
That was the longest drive between on back-to-back ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
That was a tough one.
it was, but again, maybe don't go out there at daylight in the morning. Wait till 9 o'clock.
Well, I only got 1 day of practice for Douglas.
Poor
I got
you.
2 days.
Yeah.
I drove it straight through the night.
I drove half the night. You got 2 full days?
Well, I actually messed up. I got to Todd's house at like 5 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. Like, I'm tired. He's like, I got coffee inside. Like, I pulled up to the house, and he's walking up the house. I said, Todd, I'm going to bed. Well, we drank coffee, and then I was like, I guess I'm going to go fishing. I did take a nap, though, midday. Because if you get tired, it's like, I'm going to just sleep.
Yeah.
Just sleep.
You're wasting your time.
So
But
you
I
drove all night.
straight through the night. It was
impressive.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick, you mentioned the
couldn't
mental.
do that.
The mental. Is it mental
You just got to
toughness?
get mad at it.
Is it mental toughness or just your ability to break things down?
That's
faster.
both. That's the same thing, though. I mean, I would say being a good bass fisherman, it's 90% mental. We can all cast.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
everybody said that, but truly, it's being able to break things down faster in your mind. You got to know where you're going to go, what you're going to do, why were they there, where else sets up like that. But it is mentality. I mean, you got to know you're better than the next guy, but also, like you said, if you're tired, you got to tell yourself, all right, don't overdo it. Because if you overdo it, you're wasting your time. You really are.
Kyle, what about you? Yeah, you work as hard as anybody. Yeah, you're as smart as anybody. Yeah, you've got less experience than a lot of guys. What is it that makes you a cut above?
I really honestly feel like I put myself in positions and I get lucky a lot. Like, it just seems like I get bailed out.
You sound like you're drawing to an inside straight. That's what you sound like right now.
That's how it feels when I'm fishing most of the time. And then it comes through a lot. But I really don't know. I've always felt like, even early on, I wanted to practice a ton because decision-making is such an important part of the game that I felt like early on it hurt me more to practice more because I had too much, like he said. But if you're better at making decisions, the more info you have, the more advantage you have because you're going to make the right decision more often than other people. And I don't do that very often. But I want as much info as I could have on a place to make that decision. If that decision's wrong, I'll live with it. But I just try to learn as much as I possibly can about any fishery before we get there and after we get there, and then run with it. But I also fish from the seat of my pants a lot, and I just kind of am more of a junk fisherman. And I feel like that's why I haven't won a lot of tournaments, but it helps me be more consistent because I'm rarely on the best deal, but I'm usually on a good deal. So I can just like after day, move up a little bit. But
So how good a deal are you on this week?
He said, we'll see.
But honestly, what kind of weight will it take? You know, I don't have any idea.
I really haven't fished here much. I've only fished 3 big tournaments here. Last year in this event, I fished an open in like 2017 or something here.
18.
So, 18?
I think it was 18.
Yeah.
You fished too?
I fished it. Oh.
The one that Kilgore won?
No, the one that Atkins won. That might have been 17.
This was
then,
before.
too.
It might have been earlier than that. It might have been like 15.
Yeah, I fished the one that Atkins won.
I was really young. But Kilgore won it, but it was in like May. But I don't know. I really don't know. I would expect
What kind of weights
13
has
and a
it?
half a day or 14 to win, something like that.
Okay.
Wow, so
Yeah.
so
That's
just
kind of what I think.
40, 42 pounds.
That's kind of what I.
Yeah, they had
Okay,
a
so
tournament
that's
this
what I
weekend, and it took 15 to win. But
Yeah.
they had scope, and they're locals. But I was like, man, 15 for 3 days would be.
I mean, somebody could do it, but it's
They
going to be
could,
it's going to
but
be
that would
a
be
miracle.
That would truly take pot luck.
Yeah.
I
All
think
right,
to catch
gentlemen,
15.
we got to wrap it
3
up, but I
days
want a
ago.
real quick one for you guys. Will you fish this tournament any differently given the AOY race? Greg, let me start with you.
No.
You're out to win and win the
I'm
money.
just going to fish what I'm on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't go out there and make something out of air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, I went out there and practiced, and we'll just roll with practice.
I hear you. Patrick, will you fish it any different because the AOY race? Greg, you need to get your order ready.
I practiced different, I'd say. I looked more for, like, the wad, the mother load. You know, I looked for a school. I looked for them schooling, and ones that you could catch schooling, first of all. And just 4 big fish. And then you come to realization, and it's like, all right, we're going to fish the same way we got to fish. You know? I mean, once you look, it's like, that was what you call practice. And now it's like, all right, let's bring her back to reality.
Reality.
Yeah.
Kyle.
I'm not going to fish any different, you know. I always day one, it doesn't matter how practice is. Every single one of us idling out thinks if everything goes right, you can win. Like, that's how it feels on day one, no matter how your practice was. So that's how I try to win every tournament. So same.
Gentlemen, you guys have had an amazing year. All three of you, all deserve an AOY title. Only one of you is going to get it. I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out for Roundtable. Folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Roundtable. We are at Texas Roadhouse in Oxford, Alabama. Yes, sir, what you got?
I thought you were going to announce the schedule. You said, at the beginning, you said you were going to announce the schedule after our interview.
I actually did not say that.
Okay.
That's, once again,
where was the championship?
Patrick's here is not really what it should be. Amazing angler, not a strong listener.
My wife will also agree with that as well.
Oh, she's got some other things to tell you.
Come on out to the Roadhouse. Wednesday is Kids Nights. They've got amazing specials. Check it out. You'll enjoy it. The Roadhouse in Oxford, Alabama. We're here for Stops number 6, the season finale on Logan Martin, our live weigh-ins with Big Al McCullough. Start Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 3 p.m. Central from Lincoln's Landing. Come on out, get an autograph from these guys. Our live on the water coverage with Luke and Fat Cat starts Friday and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Who's going to win the season finale? Who's going to qualify for the championship? Who's going to win AOY? All those questions get answered on Saturday, so check that out. I will be back next Sunday with another edition of Roundtable from the Anderson, South Carolina for the 2025 NPFL Championship. That's from the guys who qualified last year, 2024, using forward-facing sonar. We will have forward-facing sonar in that tournament, likely for the last time in NPFL history. We will catch you then. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Y'all were spectacular.
Thank you again.
Enjoyed it, guys.
Whenever I packed for Hartwell the first while,
Good luck this week.
I was not thinking about scope.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
I know, for real.
Yeah.
It changes how you pack.
Yeah.
It changes how you pack.
Yep.
Listen, when we got scope, I do not throw a chatterbait as much. I will take when you